Hi. It's been a long time since I've been here talking. Baruch Hashem, we're back. And my sister-in-law asked me to give a lecture about the growth of kids, the times of developments of kids, and how to educate them from the time that they grow until they can become an adult, till the age of 20. Bezrat Hashem, I'll just tell you what I know from the pnimiyut of the Torah, and I don't know anything. The information is all from Hashem Yitbarach, Shtabach Shemolad. This is very important to know because the world is in a big chaos when it comes to education with kids. I mean, it's completely lost its direction to a point that you hear in America, Hashem Yishmor, not that I see it, but people tell me that they give him even now they're giving a decision to kids if they want to be males, females. Such incredible decisions they're giving to kids. And let me just talk about the stage of development of kids, and let's see if they can, if they're able to take such decisions for their life. Okay, so let's start. Bezrat Hashem Yitbarach. First of all, there's the stage of where the baby inside the womb of the mother. That's called Ibur. That takes 9 months, Bezrat Hashem. There, in the stomach, in the womb, the baby, according to the Zohar, learns Torah for 9 months. The Zohar says that there's a candle that's lit above his head, inside the womb. There's an angel that teaches him all the Torah from beginning to end. And when he comes out, the angel tips him on his, all right here, where the lips are, and he forgets everything that he learned. Why is that? Why is it supposed? Why does Hashem? What does the angel do that according to what Hashem tells it to do? It's because every Jew that comes out, he already knows the Torah inside his soul from the time he was in the womb of the mother. And then he forgets everything. And then when he comes to this world, he learns and remembers everything that he learned already in the womb, in his mother's womb. And that's why King Shlomo HaMelech said, there's nothing new under the sun. Because even when we come out and we learn Torah, it's a Torah that we already learned it. And that's why many times people that do tshuva, they come into Torah and they learn and they have a feeling that they heard it somewhere. And sometimes even they say themselves, halakha, that is exactly correct, without even learning it, because they just remember from the time that they were in the womb. Okay, that stage is called Ibur. Takes 9 months for that stage to finish. Then the tinok, the baby, comes out. Baruch Hashem, Mazal Tov. He's got a stage till 2 years where he is fed by milk, Bezrat Hashem. That's called Yenika, that stage. And after that, from the stage for the 2 years where he's given milk, you'll see that he cannot walk until the age of a year and a half. Why is that? Because the lights, the spiritual lights of the legs, of his legs, did not come to him yet. How do they come to him, the spiritual lights of his legs? Through the milk of the mother. The milk of the mother gives him the spiritual lights that he needs for his legs to start walking. And that's why you see babies coming out, we're unable to walk until they start taking milk from the mother. That stage is still 2 years, and after that, till 9 years, It's still called Yenika. After that, he gets mochin, which is lights, to his head, and that stage is completed at the age of 13 and 1 day. That's why there is bar mitzvah. What happens then in the bar mitzvah times? The Chabad comes in, which means chokhmah, wisdom, bina, that's bina, and dat. Dat is the brain, the middle brain. That is very, very important. That it starts to develop at the age of 13 and 1 day. It finishes all its process, the brain, with the 3 parts. Finishes the process of growing till the age of 20. At the age of 20, he is ripe to take decisions. It starts at the age of 13, but since he has like small lights and he is still confused, at the age of 20, he's already ready to make decisions. And that's why in the Shamayim, he is accounted for his actions at the age of 20. Which means to say that the person does not have the kelim, does not have the vehicle to take decisions until he's 20 years old. Anybody who tries to make a baby or a kid take decisions that are so important for his life, before that stage, is making a mistake. Because the baby does not have the kelim, the vehicles, to make the right decision for himself. So how can parents expect a kid to take a decision for himself at the age of 7, 6, 8, 9? You can ask him, what would you like to eat? Seder, that's okay. But a decision that has to have a dat that's ripe to take a decision for his life or to have an opinion about something, it's just not there until the age of 20. That's very, very important to know, because many, many people try to educate their kid and try to hasten their education. And it's just like giving a baby, giving him food they cannot digest. There's a time for everything. That's why Chachamim, there is in the Pirkei Avot say, at the age of 5, Mikra, let him read Mikra, Torah, Mishnah afterwards. Afterwards that, Gemara, at the age of 13 onwards. Why? Because there are stages where the brain can handle these certain parts of the Torah. Cannot explain to him Talmud, which is so complicated, at the age of 6 and 7. He doesn't have the vehicle to understand it. So everything has to come at the right time. That's number one to know for all of us who want to have kids that are geniuses, and they are dreaming already that the kid has to know everything as soon as possible. That cannot happen. Just like a person cannot eat if he doesn't have teeth. It's the same thing with a kid, with a baby. There's certain growth patterns that you have to follow with it and give him the information that he can handle and digest. If we don't do that, the kid will just be very, very fed up with everything. And that's, Hashem Yishmor, an opening to mental stories, which we don't want to get into, Bezat Hashem, because it's not normal. We have to know our kids. We have to know their capacity. We have to learn Torah to know at what age I can teach him what. At what age I can teach him Torah, Mikra. At what age he can handle Mishnayot. At what age he can handle Gemara. Anybody who hastens these processes is making a big mistake. I have to explain to you how the brain works according to Kabbalah a little bit, Bezat Hashem, so that we see these stages that go one after another. There is 3 parts of the brain. The right brain is wisdom. That brain handles information. A person gets chokhmah, it's called chokhmah. He learns something, he absorbs wisdom. The left brain, binah, takes this information and brings it apart so it's understandable for him. The third brain, the da'at, which is in the middle of behind the head over here, that's the most important brain. Not that the other ones are not, but why is it important? Because that's where decision making is being made. How does the da'at make decisions? It has to, if it's a da'at that's real, according to the Torah, he has to know what is truth and what is a lie. What is right, what is wrong. If he doesn't know that, he doesn't have any morals and he doesn't learn Torah, he's all confused. He thinks what is right is what the people are telling him on TV. The problem is, on TV he can hear 20,000 opinions that are against each other. And all the brainwashing that goes on these medias, trying to brainwash people on what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is lie. It's all, it's information that serves these people to brainwash other people. The Torah is the only source of the world that tells everybody what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is a lie. That's why wisdom, binah, is useless if the da'at is not strong and steady, because all this information can go to the wrong places and this kid can grow into the wrong directions. But if he's got Torah guiding him, telling him that stealing, murdering, Shabbat, Brit Milah, Lashon Hara, Hashem, that's a no-no. Helping people, Chasadim, loving your parents, yes, that's mitzvah aseh d'oraita from the Torah. And the Torah arranges the da'at. It shows a person and the kid what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is a lie. Then the da'at can process all the information that he gets from the Torah, I hope, and then he will know how to deal with life, how to deal with life, how to deal with his own family, how to deal with his own kids. That takes a long, long time to develop. After 20 comes the stage of experiencing what he learned. He goes into life, and then in life Hashem shows him he has to do all kinds of decisions with his kids, with his wife, with his friends, with business, with Torah. All these decisions are based on the da'at, on the third brain. That's why it's so important to go through these stages and to digest the food that the brain can digest at the right times. We see today kids that are very spoiled. They're getting anything they want. As the Torah says, you have to work in order to earn. Just getting things for nothing, it's an equation for spoiledness. From spoiledness comes boredom. The kid becomes bored because he gets everything he wants. He's not working to get what he wants. Boredom is, the Mishnah says, boredom is Hashem Yishmor, an opening to mental disorders and diseases, Hashem Yishmor. The kid has to know that if he wants to get something, he has to work for it. He learns Mishnah, he knows well, okay, give him a candy, give him, not candy, organic candy, I'm sorry. Said candy, oh boy. Something organic that's tasty. Yeah, give him prizes, okay, give him a force, but he has to earn these gifts that you're giving him, not to just hear, what do you want, bicycle, take a bicycle, take this, you want car, have a car. That's not the way, because he's going to grow up with no interest for life even, because if you give him everything at this stage, why should he go and work for anything? We're taking away all these incentives for living. There's a lot of things that we can be said about this, and Be'ezrat Hashem will continue in the next lecture. Thank you very much.